education for around 50 years. I've been a student. I've been college dean. I think I'm a college president now or something. But I've also, it's been a long journey. And two things happened in my journey that marked me for the rest of my life when it comes to education. I'm the son of an illiterate sharecropper who couldn't write his name. I'm sorry. Raised in the Delta, southeast Arkansas. I got saved when I was 9 years old. My mother loved to read, so she gave me that. 7 kids, a sharecrop, 2 mules, Doc and Dolly, no Jersey. Thank God for Jersey. I loved her milk. Chickens, pigs, and Jesus. When I was 10 years old, I had an epiphany in the hayfield with Jesus. And I knew what I was going to do the rest of my life, but I didn't know what it was. But I just knew I knew. And at 14, I made a commitment that I would serve the Lord as a minister. And in those days, if you're going to be a minister, you have, 3 choices. Be a pastor, evangelist, or a missionary. And I didn't know. Missionaries, they just showed up every 4 years, maybe every 8 years. I didn't know where they went. They were missionaries. And evangelists, they just had to go preach everywhere. And a pastor was the same place. And I like to move around, so I figured evangelist might be the thing. But after planting a church at 19, I realized, someone had told me one time, they said, Chuck, you don't have an inferiority complex. You are inferior. They were trying to encourage me, of course. And they said, someone accused me once of being dumb as a coal bucket, and I wasn't sure exactly what that IQ was. But I knew I needed training, and I grew up in a Pentecostal denomination. And in that environment, it was very legalistic, but I cherished all of that background. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But so I applied to our denomination school in Cleveland, Tennessee, as I said last night with Dr. Deal now. He and I share the same alma mater. But if you'd only seen me then. So I go to Cleveland, Tennessee. I go to Lee College, Lee University now. I had my acceptance letter. But see, I hadn't even finished high school. I started full-time ministry at 17 and just hit the road. And so I was so thrilled to get to go to college. But I went to the registrar's desk when I got there, and the registrar came out, looked at my everything, and he had my file. He said, well, actually, you don't qualify for the college, but you can go to the institute. We have that for people who didn't have it. But in other words, it's not ready or something. And he just turned and walked away. And I was so devastated. A young girl who was she was a staffer, a clerk. And I'm not minimizing that, but I'm saying she had no authority. But she came over to me, and now listen to me. It's not position. There's only 2 powers in the whole world. One is position, and the other is influence. And the power of influence is far greater than the power of position. Power of position has a job description, a portfolio, and the power of influence is unlimited. And that little gal began to move in her power of influence. And she came over to me and she said, I'm sorry for eavesdropping, but I was eavesdropping. She said, they're giving the GED test over at the Covenant College by Chattanooga. And it's a 2-day test, and it cost $7.50. So you know when that was, a long time ago. And I got in my little Chevy and I went over, and for 2 days I sat and I took the test. I went back to get the score, and you had to have 54 percentile to pass. I had 51. And this little guy with the bow tie, he said, I know there are some questions on that you probably looked over too quick and you know the answer. He said, no, we're not supposed to do this. And he said, I'm going to let you look this over again. But he said, let me check off all the ones you got right. You don't want me to change anything you already had right. And I passed by 55%. That's a long time ago.
And we're glad you did.
The point is this, and I know it took a long time to get there, and I'm sorry, Dr. A, but we're going to get to you. But this is important that you know why we do what we do. And Dr. Jack is even worse than me in some of his benevolences. Well, sure, they're capable. God put that DNA in me then, that I would build a learning ladder that would reach to where the student is and take them as high as their competency will take them. Amen? Everything we've done, they said we couldn't do it. I would argue with state departments of education while I was blue in the face. But I'm telling you, in the last 45 years, we have matriculated 60,000 students and counting. And we're not going to stop now. And nobody knows who we are, and that's good. So now it's better to stay under the radar. But God has given us favor in so many places. And brilliant people He's brought to us and across our path to assist and help. Right now, our students do things all over the world. And I don't have time at all to just elaborate on some of the things that they're doing all over the world, except for two, the most current that you're familiar with. Did you know our students have been helping evacuate the left behinds in Afghanistan for the last 6 to 8 months? We've rescued, I can't tell you how many, from Afghanistan. We just recently bought an ambulance, one of our nonprofits did, in Poland to evacuate Holocaust survivors out of Ukraine, having survived Hitler. Now they had to survive Putin. But you know what they do? They bring them out to Warsaw and they fly them to Israel, where we have a nonprofit there. It's a home for Holocaust survivors. They have a beauty contest every year. Last year, the one who won our beauty contest was 105 years old. Dr. Jack, there's hope for us. Not in the beauty side, but just in the age side. But the point I want to make is just deep and it's personal. And when I look at this, we have our acronyms. And see, you have Aidan University, American Chapters Association, Logos Global Network, which is kind of the umbrella parent, Life-Changing University. We've got the Reformed Theological Seminary here. We all serve the same boss. We're not in competition. We're complementary to one another.
Yes.
And that's what's so important. And so it is incredible what God has done in all of our lives. And all of your stories are just like that. They're just a different setting, different people, different places. And that's my message.